Hey, Jackson here from Metaphysical Ask, bringing you a tutorial on how to make a YouTube thumbnail using Adobe Photoshop Elements. Or you could also make this using other simple photo editing programs, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to stick to Photoshop. For naming the file, you could name it whatever title you like, and make sure the dimensions are 1280 by 720, and make sure that the background context is set to transparent. After that, you're going to want to look for your background color. For me, I like the look of a blue grunge background, but you could basically look up any background you think you'd like. Once I found the one I like, I'm just going to save it to my desktop and drag and drop it into the Photoshop program. Once I have it in there, I'm gonna go back to Safari and search for a Macintosh PNG. So basically just an image of a Mac with a PNG, which means that the area in between will be transparent, so we could put whatever we like inside of that area. Basically just browse through the images and find the one that you like the best. I found this image, so I'm gonna drag and drop into Photoshop and highlight the blue background. Once I have that, I place the Mac into the background and scale it so that it fits the screen. I'm just gonna spread it out, and once it's the size that you like, you just want to click the check mark and its quality will get better. After that, you want to take the rectangle tool and highlight the space in between the Mac. Make sure there's no space left out and you're not highlighting any of the outside of the Mac. Set your fill-in color to white and use the paintbrush tool with a fairly big brush to fill in the inside of the Mac. Because of the rectangle, this won't allow you to color outside of the lines. After you're finished with that, we're going to go back to Safari and we're going to search for a cool text generator. This is just the first thing that came to my mind. And once we find this, it's usually the first one, and this will allow us to quickly generate text that looks cool. I chose the alien glow color, but you could choose any of these preset options. You're going to want to enter in the text for your thumbnail. For mine, it's just going to be create your, which is the first part of the thumbnail text. I put it in all caps, and I changed the outside glow color to red. I like the way that looked. I kept all the other options to the default, and I clicked the Create Logo button. I then downloaded the image, and I ended up dragging it onto the Mac. You could add a glow to the text using another program, or you could also just do it inside the Photoshop application, but the reason why I did it using this online program was just as a shortcut and just to save some time. Once I finally dragged and dropped the cool text with these crazy numbers into the Photoshop Elements tab, I highlighted my Mac and I dragged and dropped it into the blank screen. I then used this tool to scale it and resize it and put it in the correct position in my screen. After I felt comfortable with the looks of that, I clicked the check, and I went back to Safari to search for a YouTube logo, PNG, so that it also looks transparent in the screen. For this video, I just chose a pretty basic looking logo, and I saved it to my desktop, and I dragged it into Photoshop. After that, I highlighted the main Mac screen, and I dragged the YouTube logo in, and of course it looks small, so I made it bigger, stretched it out a little, and I put it towards the right of the screen and towards the middle horizontally. After I felt comfortable with how that looked, I pulled Safari back out and I searched for that same cool text generator that I went on last time. I ended up choosing the same template. Of course, you could choose whichever one you want. And I wrote the word thumbnail. I ended up making it in all caps because I thought that looked the best. And this time I made the color red. This time I actually made the color yellow just because I wanted to mix it up a little. And I created the logo. I then downloaded the image and exported it to my thumbnail document. I highlighted the Mac screen and I dragged it and dropped it back in like I did with the Create Your text. I made it bigger and I made sure it was correctly aligned with the Mac screen. I made this text the biggest because I thought thumbnails should be the most emphasized. Once I felt comfortable with that, I gave it a check, and the last thing I ended up doing was pulling up a thumbs up emoji just to add some final touches. Of course, you could add whatever you want, you could add whatever emoji you want, you could add any image you like, but for the purposes of this video, I just used the best quality thumbs up emoji I could find. I dragged it in there, and of course, when you're finding the YouTube logo and the thumbs up emoji, the bigger the image, the better, because the better quality it will be and the better it will show up on the screen. So I resized this, made it bigger, I set it up to the size of the screen, and I put it in the place where I thought it looked best. Yes, so that is the tutorial on how to make a YouTube thumbnail. Of course, you could save this to whatever name you like and save it as a PSD or a JPEG. A PSD if you want to edit it in the future, or a JPEG if you want to put it straight into YouTube. I saved it as a JPEG and then I uploaded it to YouTube. So, thank you for watching my video on how to make a thumbnail. Thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.